Pick up 4. He's opened the face and driven that out through deep backward point. Ball's kept curling with the spin further and further behind square. And there is a boundary. Short goes up to 31.
Yeah, he was doing a nice job up until that point. Jacob Bethel just getting that one slightly too short. Short managed to just sort of glide it back with a point.
97 for 2. One ball to come in the Bethel over. And he's in and bowling on leg stump and heaved away out through the leg side. He's picked the gap perfectly for 4. That looked like it should have been a single. They had Livingston coming around from long on. The deep mid-wicket running around as well, and Jamie Overton. Neither of them could get there, so Short has turned what looked like a good over into an expensive one with boundaries off the last 2 balls. Neither of them seemed like particularly bad deliveries, especially the 5th ball of that over. It was just the fact that Short backed away, made himself room to carve it away through backward point. But he moves on by a couple of boundaries. Michael Carberry is off for a break, and joining us for the first time in this Australia-England extravaganza, Ebony Rainford.
Hello, yeah, good to be here, Jeff. Do you know, I have to be honest, I've watched most of England's home games this summer. It's the first time I've felt like England have been bullied. You know, there's Pakistan, obviously the Test series, Sri Lanka, West Indies, but actually it's a reminder of that notch up. Australia have turned up.
101 for 2 is the score. Adil Rashid, 1 for 5. The absolute standout. He's being driven down the ground here by Inglis for a single, and this time they won't take on the arm for a second. 102 for 2. It feels like the Travis Head effect at the moment.
Yeah.
He is able to bully teams. He did it to England in the T20 World Cup with David Warner. Just came out and ransacked them to the point where, you know, Will Jacks came on to bowl that second over. The ball's flying everywhere. They're smashing all the solar panels on the roof of the ground. The repair bill for that must have been enormous. Rashid bowls flat outside the off stump, pushed down to long off for a single. 103 for 2. They had a big to-do about turning on the solar panels on the roof here at the ground in Southampton just before the game started, which seemed odd at sunset to turn on the solar panels. But I'd be more worried about Travis Head hitting the ball up there. Went through probably half a dozen of those panels in Barbados, got broken. Joss Buttler did a couple as well. Rashid floats the ball up outside off stump, driven over long off, 1 bounce 4, and had they had the long off straight, it could have been a catch. It was more a deep extra cover almost, that position in the deep. 107 for 2, Inglis up to 8.
Yeah, good placement there. What I like about Rashid is he's prepared to still give it a fraction of air, even when he knows that Australia are coming at him. He just gave it a little bit. It was attempts at well executed. Inglis went nice and straight, able to beat the field up.
So Inglis, the dirty moustache that he's got going at the moment, waiting for Rashid, who fires it through flat, just as he's being praised for looping it up. It's cut straight to cover, no run. You
often have a bit of thing going on. What is it? What is it about?
A facial hair situation.
Tell me. Yeah, what's the...
Rashid in at the leg stump, shoveled away into the leg side. They'll look to come back for the second. And Short's being sent back. Could be in some strife here. He is able to get back in the end.
So good.
109 for 2. That was a good bit of fielding from Jordan Cox. So 1 run there. Short 36 will be on strike, and Inglis gets the single. I don't know, what is it with facial hair?
But it's the Aussies tend to like it, isn't it? It's, Stark did a stint.
With the moustache.
Who's the old school?
Mitchell Johnson. Flies it up and then coming forward and pushing it to cover. There's no run there to end the over. 9 overs gone. 108 for 2. Well, you've got Dennis Lilly's kind of your original moustache wearer, and then in the Rod Marsh era, then Alan Border comes through. And then you've got the David Boone, Merv Hughes moustaches. They'd be the most famous 5 moustaches in Australian cricket history.
Coming right at the start of the Anglo-Australian rivalry. French Spofford, the demon.
True.
14 wickets at the Oval in 1882.
He had the one that spiked up at both ends.
The curler. There must be some stats on length of moustache.
I'll see what I can get out of my database. Just on the power play, 86 in 6 overs, which is the most England have conceded in the power play when bowling first in a T20 international.
Jacob Bethel comes up around the wicket, darts it through, and is dug out by Inglis for a single to deep mid-wicket, 109 for 2. Just to be clear, Josh Inglis's moustache is not anywhere in the league of any of those we've just mentioned. It's pretty patchy.
It's pretty strong, though. That's
I don't know. It's got. I mean, Matt Short has a full beard and a moustache combo. Inglis looks a bit year 11 for me. In it comes Bethel, and Short backing away, chopping out to deep cover point for 1. Long throw comes in.
He looks a little bit more groomed, I think. He's come in at the sides a fraction.
It's kind of rounded around the top of the lip. I don't know. It looks a bit drawn on. It's not coming through with full conviction of colour. As Inglis backs away, his shots have conviction though. Out to deep mid-wicket, into the gap. It's stopped out there. The relay between Overton and Livingston. Livingston gets to throw back in, 112 for 2. Inglis up to a dozen from 9 balls, Short 37.
Credit to England's fielders, by the way. They've been sharp, like running around, trying to cut these boundaries off. Excellent there from the combo of Overton. Now Livingston.
Bethel up to Inglis, who plays the same sort of shot, a bit squarer, and this time straight to Jamie Overton on his T20 international debut. Never played a one-day international either, so first shot at white ball cricket. He's played the 1 test match for England, and they'll be hoping to rack up some stats in the games played category over the next couple of years. Had injury problems and so on. Backing away goes Short, carving Bethel out to the deep extra cover boundary. There's another 4. It's been a minute for Australia, but Short got Bethel away a couple of times in the previous over. Short up to 41 off 23. He's doing his job. Preferred to Jake Fraser-McGurk today, which was an interesting selection call, but he's vindicated it so far. Bethel taking a moment to catch his breath before he finishes the over to Short, who slogs, sweeps and gets very little on it. Little bit of glove, little bottom edge, it bobbles away and he gets through for a single. He's up to 42. Australia 118 for 2. It's a leg by, in fact, so he'll stay on 41 at Matt Short. But Australia 118 for 2 after 10 overs, which means that I'm going to leave you with the company of Ebony Rainford Brent, and then Alison Mitchell will be back.
Thank you, Jeff. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of score here. Halfway stage, 118 for 2, and this looks like a good surface. You'd comfortably say it's possible to double this. I was just going to ask Andy, Australia touring England in T20s, what kind of scores have they got to over history or any recent history? Right now, they're shaping up comfortably to double it from here. So 220s, 240s, anything in England?
Well, just looking at their highest scores after 10 overs against England, and this is their second highest. The previous highest was 122 for 1 on this ground 11 years ago, August 2013. But I'll get the
okay, so this is
scores in
shaping up for something big. Can I just, sorry, before you come off those scorecards, the biggest score of that, what did they finish on? I'm
Give
pushing.
the man a moment.
Relax. All right, over to you, Ali. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I guess I was just thinking is the start that Travis Head's given them. The surface looks good. Actually, in some ways, that moisture might have helped the ball kiss on a little bit. So we could be in for a pretty decent score here.
On that occasion, they finished 248 for 6 in that game in 2013. Aaron Finch made 156 from 63 balls, 14 sixes and 11 fours.
Okay, so we're shaping up for something meaningful.
Well, that just means that there's plenty of opportunity for big hitting from Will Jacks, Phil Salts, Jordan Cox, Liam Livingston, Jacob Bethel.
Isn't it exciting?
Well, let's see. You never know. There might be a brilliant bowling effort to claw things back towards the back end of the innings. But drinks have been taken. That's why we've had a moment to have a little bit of a chat and a pause. But the players are filtering back out into their fielding positions now. Did you have, Ebbs, when you're discussing moustaches, given Travis Head's effort, did the Mitchell Johnson handlebar get a mention?
I think Andy might have. Did you say it, or maybe Jeff? Someone mentioned it, but we didn't kind of give the full.
Well, that was a meaty moustache. A meaty 90 mile an hour. 2013-14.
Comeback for him.
He bowled like the... yes, it's because he, of course, had a lot of stick from England in that 2010-11 series. You know, he bowls to the left, he bowls to the right.
Don't finish
and Michael Carberry, who's in... I won't. Michael Carberry, who's here with us, was on the end of a lot of Mitchell Johnson fast balls in 2013-14. Now, attempting to swing and pull this one. Matthew Short has got himself in a bit of a tangle, and the ball's ended up in the gloves of Phil Salt. Now, they're sort of half asking about whether that was an LBW, are they? Because it struck him on the body on the way through. Phil Salt's shaking his head and looking back at Liam Livingston, who's come on to bowl now from the Hilton end of the ground.
And felt a little bit leg side with the shot he was looking to play anyway. I think that would have been a bold review.
Livingston in again over the wicket, a little bit leg side, and he's lifted this and lofted this out to deep square leg. Chance for a catch taken. Sam Curran got underneath it. He had to tumble forward as well, and he held on as his elbows hit the ground. Liam Livingston, a wicket in his first over with his second delivery. And Australia lose their third with 118 on the board in this 11th over.
Yeah, much needed wicket here. They've kind of turned to the spinners and just have taken a bit of sting out of this innings from Australia. And this one there from Livingston, the same sort of line that he was trying with the last ball, tight to the body. He almost got a bit too cute there. In some ways you thought he might have actually got the hands through it there, Matthew Short, but just tried to work it around the corners. In the end, good catch from Sam Curran, but important breakthrough here. We're talking about what sort of scores Australia can get. They're going to need a little flurry of wickets here just to slow that flow.
So Matt Short, 41 from 26 balls. Australia lost Travis Head for a blistering 59 off 23. Watch that back on your highlights programme, Ebbs.
Yeah.
That's one at 11:05 tonight.
BBC Two.
BBC Two and on the iPlayer.
Yeah.
So you can watch those back at any time, and check out the BBC Sport website and app as well for in-play clips as well if you want to watch any of these wickets tumble.